Testing,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Derek Jackson. I'm the collections assistant here at the Sandy Spring Museum. And today we're going to open up 2 fortified wines that were donated about 5 years ago that we can't put in the archives because the content is full. So we must remove the content. So we are fingers crossed that what we're going to remove here is palatable. We have here initially a 1908 Coburn Smith's Port, bottled by Jordan Stabler Company in Baltimore, Maryland. Jordan Stabler was the grandson, or actually the son, of Edward Stabler of Heroin. This was very common for a merchant to ship over casks of wine and then bottle them once they got to the United States in their own bottles with their own labels. So, by the way, 1908 vintage is considered one of the greatest vintages of port of the 20th century. We also have an 1896 Osborne, at least that's what's written on it, that was bottled in 1896. 116 years old, 127 years old. Do we have any bets on what's going to happen here? I don't. So the first thing we need to do is remove the capsule from the top. The capsule, unfortunately, is lead tin, which is toxic. So it must be removed first. So very gently we will peel it off. And that will reveal some things here, such as the condition of the cork, which is somewhat dark, as you can see. But because that was a lead residue, we need to remove any that remains on the neck and the top. So soapy paper towel. Try to get as much as we can here. In the old days, I don't think they cared quite as much about lead in their diet as we do today. But we're going to make this as safe as possible. So, then we will take a wet paper towel and wipe off the soap. After 100 years, the cork may be somewhat soft. As a result, you can't use a traditional corkscrew for fear of it disintegrating and falling into the bottle. So what we will end up doing is using a cork puller, which is this implement here that pulls the cork from the side. All right, that's washed. Let me dry. Now, if we succeed in getting this cork out, we have to decant because there is a tremendous amount of sediment that was built up in this bottle over 100 years. And we will do that into this cheesecloth funnel here into a decanter. So gently goes down between the cork and the side of the neck. Let's try this. That is going down well. The concept is not to push the cork in, but to pull it out. So you go down as far as you can. All right. Then you grab hold good and you slowly twist around. Gently pulling at the same time. And as you can see, as it's coming up, it is crumbling, but it's crumbling on the outside. And that's a good sign. Come on, a little bit more. Success. That is one nasty looking cork. But it appears whole. I may ask my trusty cinematographer to bring me more wet paper towels. Okay, Are we ready for the acid test? No, I'm not going to drink it. That's quite fascinating. And I think this is going to actually be very good. It is not vinegar. So what we will do now is decant. So the idea is to pour in as much as possible without sediment coming through, but the filter will help. Oh, the color is a nice light brown. May take a while for this process to happen. Come on, it's got to soak the cheesecloth first. There we go. This would be considered a tawny port, not a ruby port. Now, if it was really good, I would have a backlight here so that I could look into the bottle while I'm decanting to see where the sediment is before it comes out. But we'll slowly do this. As it's going down into the bottle, it is aerating. It's the first time that air has touched this in 116 years. I can only imagine how good it was when it was first bottled. Okay, we have a nice flow going there. Not much sediment into the cheesecloth yet. What else can I talk about? So a tawny port should have quite a bit of nuttiness in its flavor, caramel, sugars, you'll smell all that. I'm starting to see here at the bottom some sludge, but we won't get that over the shoulder and into the neck. I'm starting to see sediment here, and this may be as far as I can go. About an inch in the bottom of that bottle, that's not bad, but that's as much as we're going to get into this. At this point, I'll cover this. And we will clean it out later so that we can let it dry and then go into the archives. Beautiful color. After it's done, should I just sit?
What's that?
Interesting color. Like maple syrup. I give it a half a thumbs up. It is you can, the alcohol is there,
Uh-huh.
but the nuts and the caramel are still there too, but it is very faint. So it's, I guess the best way to describe it would be very soft. So anyway, that's our first bottle. I'd say we're batting 1,000 right now. Now comes the fun
I
part
can
too.
smell it.
We'll try this next. We'll set this up with some more cheesecloth here. Another piece. Okay. Same process as before. Remove the lead capsule. These are very tight, by the way, but we're putting them in a plastic bag to dispose of them properly with Montgomery County. Now this cork looks much drier than the last cork, and that is a pretty positive sign also. Okay. Okay. More soap and water. Wipe down with another wet, damp paper towel to get the soap off.
What's that?
This is just a damp paper towel here to wipe off the soap.
Nice.
And then we will dry. Now, what's interesting about this bottle is it says Osborne Port Wine in 1896. Osborne did not make port wine in 1896. Osborne was primarily a sherry producer. So we will see what this really is. Is it a sherry or is it a port? I don't know. So I'm a little bit confused, but we will find out. Oh, here. By the way, emails were sent to both Osborne and Coburn Smiths talking about what we planned on doing and asking for any input from them as to what they thought about it and whether they wanted to know anything about the results. Unfortunately, didn't hear anything back. Oh well. All right, are we ready? Here we go. Once again, a very crumbly old cork. By the way, these bottles are still available, at least the Coburn is, retail, for many thousands of dollars, but most of them have been recorked by prior owners some time ago. Looks like we successfully extracted another cork.
Hang on. Can you show it again?
Another cork extracted. Very shriveled, but still in one piece. Alright, we are done with that tool. Now, what we would like to do is kind of wipe down again with a damp paper towel the insides of this lip as best we can. Some of the cork will come out as sediment initially, but it will be trapped by the cheesecloth. So, alrighty. Very faint compared to that, but it is not vinegar. So. Alright. A bit darker color than the other. This bottle is much darker than the other bottle, which makes it more difficult to see the sediment. Actually, it's smelling better as it's coming through.
Is it?
Are you able to catch a whiff over there?
Yeah, it's smell the alcohol.
Yeah, I can starting to see some of the sludge here. Big chunks. We'll let this go down a little bit before we continue to pour. Based on the color of this, I would say this is a sherry.
Okay.
Just based on the color. There's not as much red in it. There's more browns, which are typical of sherry. Osborne was based out of the Jerez region of Spain, and their office was in Cadiz. So, whereas The Coburn Smiths was out of the Douro Valley of Portugal, which is where most port is. And it was a house of port that was, as most houses of port, were owned by English. So they were all English people, as were Osborne. And they would go down there and they'd create their houses, so to speak. But the British were the main people in the port trade, not the Portuguese and not the Spanish. Osborne was founded in the late 1700s. Coburn was founded in the early 1800s. So they've been doing this a long time, and you can still buy these modern vintages in the store. There's quite a bit of sludge, and I think this is going to be it for this. And this one's about 1.5 inches of sludge. So this is all we're going to get out of this one. Not bad.
So does it start with the sludge or does it develop over time?
Develops over time. Sometimes it results from oxygen getting into the actual product, but I find they didn't filter these things like they do modern wines, so as a result, it's just kind of a natural buildup. So this absolutely smells incredible. And I think this is going to take a while to drain through this. There we go. The sludge was holding it up at the bottom. All right. Now, let's... Okay. Oh, look, it cleaned the table right up. By the way, there are 2 more glasses here. Very faint nose, very faint. Oh, beautiful flavor.
Really?
Yes, this one's a thumbs up. This is half a thumb. And there we go. We will be serving these to our donors here, and I hope they enjoy it. Thank you.
Yay.